Thank you for joining me in this midweek moment. Today, I want to talk about the importance of the Word of God. Let me read to you two verses from Genesis 1. In 11 and 12, it says, "Then God said, let the land produce vegetation, seed-bearing plants, and trees on the land that bear fruit, with seed in it, according to their various kinds. And it was so. The land produced vegetation, plants bearing seed according to their kinds, and trees bearing fruit with seed in it according to their kinds. And God saw it was good." We see from this passage that the key phrase is according to their kinds. That means seed will produce the same kind that fruit that's in the seed. In the New Testament, Peter tells us that we as newborn believers, we are the production of a seed also. He says in Peter 1:23, 1 Peter 1:23, "Having been born again, not of corruptible seed, but incorruptible, through the word of God, which lives and abides forever." For us to benefit from the Word of God, we need to understand how the seed works in the land, in any soil, so we can work the Word of God in the same way. Peter tells us that first, that we are the production of an incorruptible seed, but the seed will not produce anything until it's planted. So we need to plant the seed in our hearts. That means we need to read it and hide it and put it in our hearts. The psalmist says in 119 verse 11, "I have hidden your word in my heart that I might not sin against you." So the psalmist is saying, I have hid your word. I planted your word in my heart and I hid it there so Satan will not steal it from me. And we need to understand that the law of nature is very much like the law of the Spirit, that the seed that has been planted in our hearts will produce fruit according to its kind. That means, as Peter tells us, the Word of God, which is the seed, which lives and abides forever. If you want life and you want to abide forever, you need to make sure that the seed, which is the Word of God, is planted in your heart. And after planting the seed, we need to water it. And the way we water the seed is by prayer and by confession. That means we need to confess what the Word of God says. We plant it in our hearts, and with our mouth we confess and we speak what God says in His Word, so we don't contradict the seed that is in our hearts. And after planting the seed, after watering the seed, knowing that it will produce after its own kind, we need patience. Because you see, when you plant a seed and you water it, then you need time for the law to kick in and produce the fruit. So patience is something that we need, especially at this time. In Hebrews 6:15 it says, "And so after waiting patiently, Abraham received what was promised." If you wait patiently on the Word of God planted, you will also receive the promise. May God bless you, and I will see you, God is willing, in the coming weeks.